I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points. I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sauce.
Took 3 steps, launched it, cashed it, and the ref's just like, I don't care, count it.
Yeah, and then they didn't put it on the scoreboard right away.
Yeah.
So he launched a 3 and he hit it, and then they put up final score 69-62. And I was like, dude, are they really not counting that? We're talking for. Hold on a second. My camera went off center. For those of you, what's up, everybody, by the way? We're talking about the Texas Tech game. For those of you that didn't see it, so I wasn't sweating it. I was on the under, so I was already good. But I know a lot of these guys had Texas Tech plus 6.5, Texas Tech plus 7. Texas Tech was down 7 with 2 seconds left. They have the ball down 7. Game's over. They inbound the ball. The guy takes 2 lazy dribbles, launches it from half court, sinks it to lose by 4. But then they put up the final score of the game and showed that they lost by 7. So for whatever reason, they just didn't mark it on the scoreboard until a few minutes later. So yeah, that was a wild one.
I was rewinding. I was like, ain't no way. I just thought he got that off late. I rewound.
No, he got it. He was definitely off. He was definitely
he got it off with like 0.8 left.
Yeah, he got it off without a doubt.
Two quick questions for Trevor, though. One, how did you not get on Wisconsin with the Sky Clark news coming on today?
He was out last game. I mean, I think it was already baked in. You saw what happened. I mean, it didn't move.
And then the next question is
Boston
and that
College.
Was I lost my bet because nobody can hit a freaking free throw between UCLA and Wisconsin. God.
My next question is, are you ready to jump off the Pat Kelsey bandwagon yet?
Have you seen enough?
That was so painful. Yeah, they're right there on the precipice of being ACC greatness, and they just can't get over the hump. Like they can't get that fucking signature win. Like it's
or
coming.
A win,
it's
period.
coming.
How about
no? Stop.
Yeah,
they lost to Stanford.
They'll finish top 3. They'll finish top 3 in the ACC.
I wish they would have held onto the lead a little bit longer. The chirping was fun. You started seeing coming in, and then Duke just absolutely changed all of that.
Oh man, I was getting chirped so bad. The fake sharp, the fake sharp. Taking 2.5 with Duke.
Is that how your DM sound?
Some of them, yeah.
All right. I don't want to
address Michigan too. I just want to get that out of the way.
I tried to tell you they don't play as well on the road.
What in the actual fuck was that? That was what they never had a lead. My bad.
Tell you.
Dude, that Zuri Ojiwaja, whatever, that Russian dude goes for like 20 and like 16, and then Delone goes for like 20. Like, what are you doing? They did not care tonight. They did not care. And they almost lost. I wish they would have. I really wish Penn State would have just upset them as 24.5-point dogs, whatever they went off as. They were right there. That's going to be a wake-up call from Michigan. They are going to pulverize whoever they play.
I trust them at home. I don't. On the road, they just don't cover.
They play Wisconsin at home next. It'll be a blowout.
So a couple comments. Someone actually paid $5 to say Trevor stop vaping. someone's
Puzzo? Was it Puzzo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does it in our show too.
And then Ladies Man's really upset about the Georgia Tech pick in all capitals.
Hey, in my defense, the first half, both bigs got injured.
Both their centers got hurt, man.
They had no depth. They had no depth. They had a 6'3" guard playing down there. Like they were screwed. So it is what it is. I can't control it. If I would have gotten information that, hey, by the way, the first half we're going to lose both our centers, I would be like, okay, you know what? Let's bet Syracuse. But I didn't have that information.
Urban Pope
said Tech was up too.
Urban Pope says fade Toast. That's why we're all here, dude. You are getting smoked this week. You're very clearly either not fading Toast or just getting smoked. He's having a very good week. Did anyone get on Wizards? By the way, it was my biggest NBA bet of the year. Wizards money line.
I had no idea.
Did you post that?
Thanks for letting me know.
I played a full unit on plus 7.5, full unit on the money line at plus 236, and then I bet more on the money line. I traded more on the money line at plus 244. Yeah, Wizards.
Yeah, I played the
Thanks for
7.5. I
letting me
didn't like
know.
money line now that I look at it because I saw.
I posted it in there.
No, I saw. Yeah, I got scared.
I was getting cooked. I couldn't hop in the Discord. I wasn't mentally prepared for it.
I couldn't face the music. He said.
I wasn't mentally prepared. I knew I'd
How about that Ball State game?
Okay, let me address something too. Those guys were up double digits, and then all of a
They
sudden
lost by 40, Trevor.
I know they were up. They were up in the first half, and then all of a sudden the half ends on a 22-5 run, and carries on into the second half. I was like, okay, whatever. Congratulations, world. Sports books are just handing out free money with Duke at a pick'em, and EMU playing Ball State as plus money. They're just giving away free money apparently. So there's no such thing as a sharp spot. Just bet with the public, and you'll make out like a bandit.
All right, let's get into it. And just like yesterday, we're starting off with a real heater. Furman, Chattanooga. I actually have everyone's picks here. Not everyone's picks, I have everyone's games. This is a Spoon game. So Spoon, take it away.
I got Furman minus 1.5 in this game. Furman's a much better team in this matchup. They're playing on the road, coming off a loss at home to West Carolina, an overtime game they easily could have won. This is a nice buy low spot, bounce back game for them. Looking at them statistically, their offense rates quite a bit better than Chattanooga, but their defense does as well. But this is a spot where I expect Furman to really kind of show their size difference. Their average height is 4th in the country. Alex Wilkins, their starting point guard freshman, one of the best players in the conference, is 6'5". Their shooting guard's 6'7". Just tall across the board, and Chattanooga does not have that height to match up. I think 2 points is laughably low. I think this line should be closer to 5, but Furman minus 1.5, minus 110.
Anyone have any thoughts on this one, or should we move on?
He's wrong.
I was going to have a feeling we have a Stones play coming.
This is Chattanooga. No, yes, Chattanooga has not looked good recently. They've dropped 2 straight in conference play here. They have not looked good. 4 of their last 5, Auburn, Bellarmine, Greensboro, VMI, and then they beat Alabama A&M. All on the road. They are back home, 0-2 in conference play. You get Furman coming in here off of a loss at home, but when they've hit the road, they went to Manhattan for whatever reason. Won by 7. They beat Elon by 9, and then they lost to Northern Iowa. They haven't hit the road since December 18th, and that was the tight one against Manhattan. Chattanooga comes in here. They can hit their free throws. The threes are pretty abysmal, but they don't have turnover issues. They can hit their free throws. And their defense is pretty poor too. I'll just say that. But if you're looking on the paper, but this is a desperate Chattanooga team, 0-2 in conference play, been on the road. They're finally getting home. You got Furman hitting the road. I just think this is a bad spot for Furman. I think Chattanooga is going to be fat and hungry for this game. Not to mention, it's a nationally televised game on CBS Sports Network. Ultimate get-up spot. Chattanooga is going to win this game.
Yeah, I have zero interest. Toes?
It would only be Furman for me. I think I agree with Spoon. I think they're the much better team. KenPom only has this game too, so I didn't expect this line to be much bigger than that or anything. So it would only be Furman for me.
Indiana, Maryland. None of you guys picked this game. This was one that I added. So if anyone has any thoughts, I don't think any of you actually have a pick you like in it, but if anyone wants to share some thoughts on this Big Ten matchup, Terps at home.
I do. I can share some thoughts. Man, I really want to play Maryland again. I know how good Indiana has been, and they've played a somewhat decent schedule. Nothing crazy either, but for me, it's just you have these Big Ten games where I think that you're going to see a lower possession count than normal. I think that everything's magnified a little bit, and I know that the Indiana offense has been really, really good this year, but they've only been tested twice on the road, once against Minnesota, once against Kentucky. They didn't fare well in either one of those games. They lost both those games, but obviously Minnesota's looking good right now too, so maybe when we look at the end of the season, those losses aren't looking so bad, but at the same time, I do think that's a lot asking them to lay multiple possessions here on the road. So it would only be Maryland for me. I know that Maryland didn't look good against Oregon, and they kind of pissed down their leg. But again, I thought they looked good for 3/4 of that game. So again, I'm not actually betting Maryland, but that would only be the side for me.
And there's a lot of red on Maryland's CBB analytics page here, Toast.
I know.
I mean, they've played a tough schedule.
Yeah, I
mean,
was just about to say.
as of late, Oregon, Virginia, Michigan, Iowa, Alabama, Gonzaga, and then they had Georgetown earlier in the year. But I mean, all those games were 2, 4, 6, 8. 6 of the last 8 games were against top 20 teams outside of Oregon in KenPom.
So you guys don't have any thoughts? We'll move on.
Oh, I like Maryland. I think Maryland's live to win. Indiana's hit the road this year. They lost to Minnesota by 9, and then they lost to Kentucky by 12. Losing to Kentucky by 12 is impressive. Yeah, so they've hit the road. They've had no success. They just beat Washington, but they have a big foul issue, and that's where Maryland can take advantage. Maryland gets to the line at an elite rate. They shoot pretty damn good free throws, and eighth most points coming from the line here. Indiana's defense 23rd in points given up at the free throw line. I think them hitting the road, laying this many points is ridiculous. I think Maryland keeps this close. They bounce back, and I think they're live to win this game to me.
Nah. I don't like it.
Nebraska on deck complicates things. I think Indiana would blow them out if there was nobody on deck, but they have a big game. I think Maryland has a chance to keep it close, but Indiana's a much better team.
Is that guy that got hurt in the Michigan game still for Maryland? The guy that got hurt in the Michigan game?
Yeah, he's still out.
He's still out? Yeah, no.
He's out for the year, I think.
Oh, then it would only be Indiana.
But this is also Indiana's home here. They play Maryland, then they have Nebraska ball at home. So kind of a weird traveling sandwich spot too.
A weird traveling sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, you're traveling to Maryland, you're back home. I mean, it's traveling and you're sandwiching Maryland in between two. You had that Washington game on Sunday night that everybody watched because it was the only game, and then Nebraska ball is coming to town. Now they're just going to go play shitty old Maryland. I think Maryland catches them, and then Indiana beats Nebraska in Assembly Hall.
St. Louis VCU. I appreciate it. That guy in the comments was gassing me up. Appreciate it. Said absolutely love that you're on Juice Reel. Yeah, that app's the shit. So this is another spoon game. St. Louis VCU. Last year I won several bets betting St. Louis. I tried them once this year. Well, it didn't go well. Are you a VCU guy here, Spoon?
I'm on St. Louis plus 2.5 minus 115. It's still available right now. This is a really good matchup. Not the biggest names for not common college basketball fans, but VCU as of late has been a really good team, and St. Louis has as well. Two really good teams. VCU has a new coach, Phil Martelli. He was coaching in the American East last year, and I think at this point he's really untested in this league, and St. Louis is a really tough challenge to have. I think they're getting a little bit of name value. They're at home, so it's hard to make this game a pick 'em, but I think St. Louis is an absolute train. Both of these teams can score, play with a lot of pace. I think St. Louis is just going to outscore them. I think VCU is going to have troubles at times keeping up. Both of these teams also shoot a lot of threes, so there's a little bit of variance built into this. But St. Louis only has one loss in the season. It came to Stanford and back-to-back on a neutral after beating Santa Clara the day before, and it was by 1 point. Stanford just won versus Louisville, top 25 team in the country right now. So I don't think that loss is anything to shake a stick at. I think St. Louis is really live here, but I'm going to take the 2.5 points.
The comments don't like it here. Pump Break says VCU. Too cool scoop says VCU. Craig Williams says VCU. Napolitano is also on VCU. The only guy siding with you in the comments is Sean Smith, Spoon, who also likes St. Louis. Toast, you said you nodded when he said St. Louis. You agree?
I just feel like this number's weird. Like, am I crazy, Trevor? Like, this is a really low number for a St. Louis team that's played absolutely nobody. Now they're on the road to number 40 VCU, and they're under 2.
What do you think?
Is that not weird?
Tells you what the market thinks. The market thinks VCU isn't as good, and St. Louis is good, but they want to see
the numbers should be higher or lower, though.
Yes, I would assume. When I looked, I would assume VCU was 3.5 at minimum.
So you take VCU here, then?
It would only be VCU for me. I'm not betting this game, but yes, St. Louis has looked very good because they have the 345th strength of schedule. I mean, I know that I'm a schedule merchant, but that it all matters to me. And yeah, they Santa Clara pissed down their leg that neutral game, and they ended up winning that one. And then they got beat by Stanford, another 1-point game. But besides that, they've played absolutely nobody. And I actually think that VCU is better than Stanford and Santa Clara, if I'm being honest with you guys. So I don't understand the number. It would be, I guess, over or pass for me if I gun to my head. Like Spoon said, both these offenses are pretty damn good. So again, I thought the number was kind of weird. I don't want anything to do with it.
So we're polling heavy VCU here.
I like it.
I would too if I was you.
I think
that's why I'm not betting it.
Spoon and Sean Smith in the comments are going to be on a St. Louis island here, unless TV Jones cares to join them.
You want to guess what I'm on?
No, I'd rather you just say it.
VCU. VCU's, what Toast went over the strength of schedule. I mean, VCU's played Utah State, NC State, South Florida with a win, Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, beat Virginia Tech, New Mexico. And then they beat St. Bonaventure at home. They've already lost a home game to New Mexico when they had a big team coming in. The Siegel Center is going to get rocking. I get St. Louis's experience. They got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the other side.
Oh, that guy's on St. Louis?
Yeah.
Did you see that when he was like, "Oh, the coach hates me"? They're all being funny.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. But yeah, I think VCU is just the more battle tested team. They've already lost a home game to a big time mid major. I think they catch St. Louis here. I will gladly take VCU money.
All right, let's move on to the next one. I haven't heard anything that intrigues me yet.
I can't believe you're not in on Maryland. It's crazy.
No, without that guy, I watched that entire Maryland-Michigan game. When that guy got hurt, Maryland looked like they didn't belong on the court.
They'll be fine. There's nobody that's going to bully them on Indiana.
I don't know. Maryland. I don't think Maryland's very good.
I got something.
Also, I hang out with Rockroll too often to have an objective view of Maryland. Guys, I'm a Maryland freak. So Belmont, Northern Iowa. Who picked this game?
I did.
It's a banger.
Another Spoon game. Spoon's about
This is another really good game.
Game of the day.
I'm on Belmont plus 1.5, minus 108. I think this game could come down to the last possession, but if it doesn't, it's because Belmont starts to walk away with it. Northern Iowa is a little bit offensively challenged this year. They play with a very slow pace. Belmont plays with a much faster pace. Belmont has pretty good defense, not to the level that Northern Iowa does, but I think they'll be able to play in the half court pretty well with Northern Iowa, challenge them at the basket, and I think over the course of 40 minutes, Belmont just walks away. They have a lot more scoring ability at the basket. Just going back and forth, this is a rivalry that's been here for a few years now. Casey Alexander played for Belmont, was an assistant here for years, took over the program in 2020. They've gone back and forth now for quite a few years. He lost both games to Northern Iowa last year. I think this is just a little bit of a revenge spot to be able to get 2.5 points in my pocket. It's where I want to be.
What are your guys' thoughts? Agree, disagree?
Go ahead, Trev.
I like Northern Iowa. At home here, go figure. I mean, they're at home, the McLeod Center. You don't just walk in and get a dub. I know they lost to Wichita State, but that was overtime. Wichita State's a good team too. But Belmont has a turnover issue. They rely on just the three ball. Northern Iowa's not just going to let them shoot the three the entire game. They're going to make them drive. They're going to make them uncomfortable and not give them what they want. I know Northern Iowa's offense is ugly, but their defense, I think, is going to suffocate Belmont. They're going to force turnovers, not give them the open threes that they want. And the McLeod Center will be bumping. I mean, Belmont coming to town. This is a big time mid-major game. I love this game. I can't wait to watch it. I'll be on Northern Iowa money line here.
I can't wait to not watch it.
You're missing out because this is going to be a bad.
I'm going to be watching the next one at the dunk. That's what I want. I want to get to the dunk.
Dunk only matters when Ed Cooley's in town.
UConn at the dunk is a cool game.
Yeah, but when Ed Cooley goes to Providence, that's the game.
No, this is cool too. All right, Toast, can you what do you like here?
Over or pass? Just get to the dunk.
Let's get to the dunk. Can we talk real ball? Sitting here listening to you guys talk about, you're like, oh, not at the McLeod Center. I don't give a shit about the McLeod Center. Let's talk about the dunk.
It's basically Assembly Hall.
That game will be a way better game than this one.
Yes, facts.
So you're laying it with UConn then at the dunk.
Yes,
Wow.
I am.
I was the only
10
one.
and a
I was the only one considering the Friars, huh?
Why is the number so short?
Because it's the dunk is a tough place to go play. Big East Conference games.
There's too much respect on the dunk right now. It's getting overvalued. Where it's going to matter is playing at home Saturday, February 14th against Georgetown. That's when it'll really matter. And you lay whatever number, you take whatever number it is, because they will cover that.
All right.
This one, not so much. UConn's going to kill them.
Thank you.
Off the St. John's Miracle win. Now you're coming back home. This is a Wednesday night game. UConn's going to kill them. This is going to be a murder. Danny Hurley is going to be like, "Do you see what just happened? We're not going to let that happen. That shit happen to us." And they're going to kill them.
Yep. I've already laid 10.5 with UConn here. Known UConn hater, but Providence is not a good basketball team. I think UConn is more than proven here. Honestly, like Trevor said, it's more of a Providence coming off of a miraculous win against I'll give you an average St. John's team, but that was a big win for them. Any other time that they've
coming in with confidence.
Any other time they've stepped up in competition that has a team with any pulse, they've really looked bad. And they've lost, I think, them all by double digits, or pretty close to it. So regardless, UConn's better than all those teams: Wisconsin, Florida, Colorado, Virginia Tech, Butler, Seton Hall, UConn is head and shoulders better than all those teams. UConn by 15 plus.
Wow. I'm ashamed of you guys.
You just got to ride with the public. They're cash cows right now.
I don't care what the public's doing.
World.
Give me Providence. I'm writing it down as a possible.
Are you trading this game?
I may trade Providence money line. But I was hoping like one of you guys would give me like a case.
I can't, dude. Trust me. You know me. I would love to fade UConn if I could, but I think that Danny Hurley's kind of pissed off right now, and I
feel like the number's short because of that St. John's win that just happened. If we look at what UConn's done in conference versus Butler, a team that I consider to be better than Providence right now, they won 79-60, 72-54 versus DePaul, 90-67 versus Xavier, 73-57 Marquette. I think this number is short. I think I might join Toast here.
Fine.
None of the road favors covered tonight. They'll cover tomorrow.
See you in the dunk.
UConn's at a point now where like
they don't even call it the dunk anymore.
Yeah, but you still call it that.
Yeah, it's still the rack. I'm not going to call it Jersey Mike's. I'm just saying.
Jersey Mike's tough place to play.
I'm just saying it's not.
No one wants to go into the oil and vinegar. Miami, Wake Forest.
You're going to get it Mike's way.
So Miami's pretty good this year.
Oh yeah, they're great.
This might have been another one that I added.
Oh no, this is mine. I got a full unit on the Demon Deacons. Let's go, baby. Wake Forest plus the 1. If they're -1 now, whatever, just play them on the money line here. But Miami's really, really good. But you guys know me. I'm a schedule merchant, and they've played jack shit. Just to be honest with you, 333 strength of schedule. Yeah, they played Florida and BYU on neutrals. They got slaughtered in both of those games. I think that this is a great spot for Steve Forbes and company, who I will give you haven't been playing great, but they've been playing teams like Vanderbilt, NC State, Virginia Tech. This is a top 70 schedule here for Wake Forest, and now they're in back-to-back home games in a spot where I think that Miami could struggle here on the road. I really like Wake Forest tomorrow. Probably one of my favorite plays on the board tomorrow.
Really?
Yes.
Retweet everything you said. I like the Demon Deeks tomorrow. Steve Forbes at home as a dog. Miami has
he's not a dog though.
I got it.
+1. It did flip. Well, whatever.
Well, it's a pick. It's a pick.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, Miami is coming off of a bunch of home wins. They played one road game. They beat Ole Miss. And that's
a good win though.
Yeah, Ole Miss is all right, but I just like the spot for Wake Forest. Miami hitting the road after a month plus here. I think it's going to catch up with them. And they're coming off feeling good about being Pittsburgh. Congratulations. Wake Forest is going to handle them.
I don't hate it. It's also Miami hasn't played in over a week. I like that. Spoon, do you co-sign this Demon Deacon stuff?
No, I like Miami here. I kind of think the number's off. It makes me question why. Definitely a get up spot for Wake in that last game. I felt like they caught Virginia Tech in a spot where it was a letdown after that huge Virginia win for them. They had that big rivalry game. So I kind of feel like Wake is a little overvalued after that Virginia Tech win. If we look at these guys statistically on paper, Miami grades out much better. And you can say it's because of the strength of schedule that they played, but Miami still played some tough competition in Florida and BYU and Mississippi. I don't think Wake Forest is that tough of a team. I like Miami here. I haven't bet it yet, but I might.
So Wake Forest has played a much stronger schedule, you said, Toast?
Yeah, significantly. Miami, one of the easiest schedules in the country. The fact that they played Florida and BYU is probably makes it so they're not one of the worst schedules in the country.
All right, nah.
And they got slaughtered in both those games.
It would be Wake, though. I would take Wake. Missouri, Kentucky. This might have been one that I added. Yep, this is one of
probably. Kentucky's going to score 100 points here. I really do think so. Trevor, you're the Kentucky whisperer / hater. So
he can't be the whisperer of every. He can't call himself the whisperer of every single team.
So I'm just going to give it to him.
He told us he was the LSU whisperer last night.
No, the reason he says that is because last year I said if LSU doesn't make or Kentucky doesn't make 12 threes a game, they lose every time. And that was the only thing I said, and it was true. If they didn't hit 12, they lost every single time.
Anyone thoughts on this one? I threw this game at you guys, so no one clicked it.
I was already looking at it, but yeah, Trevor, if you have thoughts, or I can go.
Who the hell is Kentucky to lay 13.5 to anybody? I don't care if they're playing LIU. Like this team is not good. They're discombobulated. They don't know what they're doing. Jalen Highland's shoulder pops out every single game. I mean, they just have nothing going on. Everybody's asses are going to be tight in this one because if Pope loses, hot seat, red hot, and then if they lose, the fans are going to be pissed off. Like they need to see a win. They got a power conference team coming in. I think Kentucky finds a way to win, but 13.5 is ridiculous. I don't care if Mizzou just beat Florida. You're going to play Kentucky. They'll get up for this game, and Kentucky is not that good. Congratulations on beating Indiana at home by 12. Other than that, they failed every single time they step out. Or they beat St. John's on a neutral, but other than that, they fail every single time. So I'll take Missouri here, catching 13.5. This is crazy.
Seems like the comments are in agreement with you. Everyone seems to be leaning Missouri. Napolitano likes the over, he said.
Can you type for me out UK team total over 82.5 minus 115, please? Because that's going to be a bet for me.
That's available right now?
Yeah.
82.5?
82.5, yeah. Obviously, Kentucky, like Trevor said, has been kind of I don't think that. I mean, they've played some pretty decent basketball teams as well, so they're going to look good. They're going to look bad. Obviously, they haven't looked great a lot of the times, but at the same time, I mean, they're coming off an Alabama game that was on the road where, I mean, they kind of played pretty decent in the second half. Not really so much in the first half, but regardless, now they're back home against a Missouri team that's off of one of their best games of the year, beating Florida at home. And now they got to hit the road. But the reason that I like the team total over is because I agree with Trevor. Is that I don't think you should be laying. It was 12.5. Now it's 13.5. It's probably going to go up a little bit more. I 100% agree that you don't lay that number with Kentucky, but I do think that you can trust their offense against this mediocre Missouri defense. On top of the fact that Missouri offense turns the ball over a whole bunch, I just think that we're going to see a whole bunch of possessions in this game. Missouri's not like a super fast team, but Kentucky's definitely a fast team, and I think that we see over 70 possessions in this game. And if that's the case, I think that we see Kentucky over this 82.5 number. So they haven't cleared it like at every single game or anything like that, nothing crazy, but I think that this is a great spot to catch Missouri and especially Kentucky at home after that Alabama defense that they just saw. So yeah, Kentucky team total over 82.5.
Spoon, you didn't click this game or anything. And any thoughts, or do you want to move on?
Yeah, I think this is a really good spot for Kentucky. Have to stew in that Alabama loss where they watched them hit 15 threes and they couldn't hit anything from three. Get to come home, play a much worse opponent. They've already blown out Indiana by 12 at home, who's 30 spots better in KenPom than Missouri. I think they can do more than that, especially with Missouri being a little bit overvalued after that Florida win. I haven't bet Kentucky, but I really like the spot.
All right, let's move on. I haven't heard much that intrigues me yet so far. The only one I'm considering is Providence, and all of you hated it. All right. Let's head to the SEC. Do they do cowbells at the basketball games as well? I'm assuming not. That'd probably be deafening.
I don't think they do.
I
think a couple people, but I don't think they do it as a big thing there.
There might be some old lady that has a recliner on the front row, like some colleges, that can do whatever the hell she wants.
Sister Jean?
Well, yeah, or something like that.
So Oklahoma, Mississippi. Oklahoma, Mississippi. Oh, this is another one that I added on you guys. Nobody clicked this game. My bad.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I clicked it.
It's not clicked. I'm looking at the sheet. It says it's the checkbox that is clicked says Kyle's ads. So this is what I added.
I made a mistake. I must have just shared it to the Discord.
Oh, you got
we're going to the dentist. Full unit. We're going to the dentist tomorrow, guys.
What does that mean?
Mississippi State plus the 1.5.
What does that mean?
Chris Jans,
head coach of Mississippi State.
What is the dentist? What?
That's his nickname. Just let me have my moment.
The coach has his nickname? What's his name? I gotta Google this. His name is the dentist, the coach?
Yeah, Chris Jans, the dentist.
Chris Jans.
It's probably a Rothstein thing is where it got started.
It is. Absolutely. Anyway, let's just start with Oklahoma and Porter Moser. Think up there with one of those Seton Hall type teams that I like to talk about that I just think is a little bit overrated. I think that it's a little bit name value with Porter Moser and some of the, I guess, momentum that Oklahoma is starting to get here. But I think that part of it is the schedule merchant in me, bottom 300 schedule. And now they're going to be on the road they've played multiple road games. I will give them that. But again, they lost to Gonzaga on the road. They beat Marquette by 1 and a semi away. Who cares? The Wake Forest road on the win is a positive, and then they lost to Arizona State. So some good and some bad. But regardless, I think that Mississippi State is starting to play some really good basketball lately. After that loss to San Francisco, they beat Utah, they beat LIU, they beat Memphis, they beat Texas. All those teams are, top 130 or better in KenPom. I mean, I'm not trying to make a case that Memphis and Texas are really good basketball teams, but compared to the teams that Oklahoma has played, it looks pretty damn good. And we get Mississippi State staying at home, coming off of a really good win against Texas. And I know that game went to OT, but that was 4 days ago. These college kids are going to be definitely fine. And we all know that Mississippi State hangs their hat on their defense. And I think that the Mississippi State defense can definitely handle the Oklahoma offense. And if I just need just a few of these guys from Mississippi State like Hubbard and Epps to do what they do every night, I think that they win this basketball game. So I thought this game should be a pick. I thought Mississippi State should be -1 or 1 or whatever. So I got them. I do have a full unit on Mississippi State plus the 1.5.
You have +1.5.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on the dentist?
I like Oklahoma here. Porter Moser, I think he's a really good coach. The problem with Mississippi State in general is it's Josh Hubbard or nothing. If he's on, they're really good because they're just going to keep up offensively. But if he's having an off night, they struggle. They've got no other scoring options really other than him. Moser's been good. This Oklahoma team has been solid. Overall, I think the Oklahoma guards are better. I think they're going to be able to handle this game, not turn it over, and fall into the dentist trap here of handing the ball over to Mississippi State for quick runouts. I'll take Oklahoma here. I believe in them. I like Porter Moser in company here, laying it on the road.
Spoon, break the tie, because I kind of like what TV Jones said better, and I also was looking at CBB analytics. Oklahoma's got great defensive numbers against the fast break.
Oh, great.
Yeah, well, that's what Mississippi State likes to do, according to this chart. Well, actually, no, not really. Never mind.
I was just going to say, it's really easy to look good in transition and fast breaks when you're playing Mississippi Valley State, Kansas City, Stetson.
They lock down the Stetson transition offense. Spoon, break the tie.
I think Oklahoma's the better team, but I don't think it's by a lot. And playing on the road here, I think the line's about accurate. I would lean Oklahoma, but I don't have any edge here. I'm not trying to get involved.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Nothing there that intrigues me either. Okay, let's talk Big East. Xavier on the road at Marquette. So Marquette, I did watch a Marquette game this year. They came through for me. What game was that? I forget what game that was.
Marquette came through?
Oh no. They blew.
They did not come.
They gave up a 16-0 run. Yeah. So my takeaway.
Oh yeah.
My takeaway of this team was when the game was on the line, not a single player on the team knew what to do with the basketball. So you got to go Musketeers here, right? They're playing better, right, Trevor?
Dude, X going to give it to you. This is money line. Marquette's soft as baby shit. I mean, this team even had a lead and then blew it at home, like at that 16-0 run. Just gave the game away like entirely. They have no fight. This team is discombobulated. I mean, last week there were reports of players and coaches getting into it, and they dismissed a player because they got into such a heated argument. He was saying he was better than these other guys. All these other guys are ass. And they just got rid of him. And then so you thought, hey, you know what? This will be a spot they'll muster up and they'll show up. Seton Hall beat them at home. And then they go get blasted by Connecticut on the road. Georgetown beat them by 9 at home. Wisconsin kicked their ass. I mean, this team is not good. This is just at this point, I think it's just a mail it in, phone it in year for Shaka
They're
Smart.
not mailing it in on January 7th, bro.
Let him keep going.
This team is bad. He knows it. The whole world knows it. Maybe mail it in, figure speech wise, but he'll try. But this team is not going to go anywhere. They're not good at anything. It's going to be just don't overthink it. Patino gets a big road win here for the program in his first year. Money line, Xavier.
Why is the total at 158.5 when neither of these teams can hit shots?
Just go ahead, Spoon.
Because Marquette doesn't play defense.
I'm taking Xavier down because TV Jones started off hot there, and then he just started saying some whack shit.
Should take it down.
I'm taking it down. I'm kind of leaning under. I'm going to lean over to the under.
You can just put Marquette up. Just put Marquette up. I'll get there.
I'm not
I'll
betting
get
Marquette. I can't do that again. I didn't sleep that
Don't
night.
let that gambler's fallacy ruin you. Don't let it.
Don't let the gamblers.
Dude, when have they covered? When they played Central Michigan?
So I don't have any. I'm not worried about them not covering one game where they probably cover 99% of the time. So let's talk about this game though. Xavier's not a good basketball team either. So whatever you want to say about Marquette, you can copy and paste to Xavier. Can we agree with that?
Xavier.
Yes or no?
Yes. No.
Yes. Xavier sucks, and you know it. Don't even start.
Marquette showed a lot of.
I'm just saying that they're equally.
TV Jones.
The expectations were higher for Marquette.
Yeah.
Sure.
Xavier's won in conference at least.
I'm not saying
beat Georgetown on the road.
I'm not trying to make a case that Marquette's good. I'm just trying to say that almost all the things that bad you can say about Marquette, you can pretty much say the same for Xavier. So. This is a really intriguing game. That new Ken Pom stat came out, so the college basketball nerds in Twitter and stuff, as this game kind of got circled. I saw multiple people talking about it, but Marquette is one of these teams that absolutely gets to the rack, and this is one thing that Xavier cannot do. I mean, they're allowing teams to finish at the rim at a 62% per shot quality. Shout out to Max for that. And Marquette is one of these teams that's one of the third best team in the country and getting proximity to the rim. All these new Ken Pom stats and stuff pretty much tell you that Marquette's one of the unluckiest teams in the country. Do I believe that they are? No, not for a fact. But I do think there's a reason that they're laying 4.5 here. I think it's actually at 5.5 in some books. Maybe it's. Yeah. So I've already laid it with Marquette here. I'm not worried about it. I think I should have won my bet the last time. It was a winner in my head. And I do think that they're going to get to the rack in this game, like we just talked about. And if that's the case, Xavier gives up points at the rack. So it would be over. But for me, I've already bet Marquette here. It's only a half a unit. It's not a full nuke or anything like that. But I did bet Marquette already.
I kind of like the under. 158.5 is a big number. Yeah, the game's probably going to be a decently fast pace, but these two teams can't hit shots. They're deep. Both defenses are better than both offenses. Neither team turns it over. They both have very good turnover rates, so we shouldn't see a ton of fast breaks. We should see full possessions. I watched Marquette play. Yeah, there's some talent on the team. They can't make a shot. They can't make shots.
Can we also talk about really quickly, like how many teams in the country are going to have a winning record when they play Purdue, Georgetown, Creighton, Seton Hall, and UConn? or did I say UConn twice? Purdue, Georgetown, Creighton, Seton Hall, UConn.
You've told me 3 times this week that Seton Hall is the most overrated team in the country.
They are the luckiest team in the country. I'm just, regardless, I'm just saying that 90% of teams in the country are going to have a losing record when they play those teams. So Marquette losing those 5 games doesn't really do much for me. That's all I'm trying to say.
There's the fact that they weren't competitive in any of them.
Hold on, some real sharp analysis.
What are you talking about? They were competitive against Seton Hall. They should have won that game. They were competitive.
Coulda, woulda.
The real sharp analysis in the comments here, Mr. Wesker says Marquette is a dying animal, a wounded pig. So Spoon, break the tie here, or do you like my under?
You should play money line then, Wesker, since it's free.
So I do like that under. I have a bet in this game. It's Xavier plus 5.5, minus 118. Okay. I think this is a 1 possession game, comes down to it. I think both of these teams will go on scoring droughts, kind of be the opposite of that Alabama game where each team throws punches. Each team's going to have to just kind of get over their own inability to score the basketball at times. These teams don't play with pace because they can't put the ball in the basket, and if they played with pace, they'd be digging themselves a hole. I think this is a very good spot for Xavier to actually get a win, but I think 5.5 is way too many. 4.5 is still too much. This comes down to the last possession.
The guy says Toast has me ready to run through a wall for Marquette minus 4.5 right now.
You should, dude. It's one of the. I mean, who's gonna, as Trevor would say, who's gonna bet Marquette today and tomorrow? Who? Besides
we
me
are pulling heavy, Xavier.
No shit. Everybody in the world, it's the same thing. Marquette's terrible. But none of them playing money line. Why not? You guys, why take the points?
Everybody was on Duke today.
Yeah, free 99.
Yeah, the books have been handing out free money. There's no sharp spots. It's just, what does the public like? Okay, let's bet that.
Creighton, Villanova is next. We're staying in the Big East, and Creighton's catching 6.5 from Villanova. Let's see who checked this game. It was Toast.
Oh, yeah. I clicked it because it was one of the bigger games. I think Villanova wins, and I think that Villanova wins going away. I don't think I have the stones, as we would say on this show, to bet it. But it's not, again, I didn't bet this, but it's more of, I don't really know if I trust what we saw in the month of December from Creighton. I know that they looked, I guess the second half of the month of December from Creighton. I don't really know if they're going to be scoring essentially 90 plus points a night. They're especially not going to be scoring 90 points tomorrow night against Villanova. I can assure you guys that. So Creighton, one of those teams that has played a really good schedule, but again, Villanova's played a really good schedule as well. So I don't know if there's anything here that, as far as Creighton is concerned, that they have any advantage here. Villanova's defense is very, very good, and Villanova's offense has been really good too. So, I mean, the only thing that's weird about Villanova, just because we always know Villanova to be like one of, if not the best free throw shooting team in the country, is they haven't been able to hit their free throws this year, but they're still deadly from beyond the arc, and I think that kind of comes into play here tomorrow. So it would be Villanova minus 6.5. I didn't really want to play. I just didn't really want to lay it. It's just, I don't know. Wasn't feeling it. But it would only be Villanova for me.
Either you guys, quote unquote, feeling it?
Yeah. Going away is crazy. Creighton is one of the best 3-point defenses in the country. That's where Villanova lives. If they can't get their threes off and make them, they're cooked. Creighton's got size inside, so if Nova wants to go inside, they're going to struggle there. Creighton coming off that heartbreaking, brutal loss that they gave away. I think they get up here. I know it's at Villanova and Willard has them playing well, but that 6.5 is too much. They're not going to be getting their threes off. They're not going to be getting open shots. Creighton is an elite 3-point defense. Creighton is going to, I'm not saying they win, but they will keep this within 3 possessions.
Okay, when they've played teams that shoot the 3 ball similar to Villanova, they played Gonzaga. They lost that game by 30. They played Iowa State.
Gonzaga to Villanova now?
I'm telling you that anytime they've played a team within the top 40 of 3-point competition, they've been absolutely slaughtered. That's what I'm telling you. And that's what Villanova is.
Slaughtered, TV Jones. Slaughtered.
Be my guest, yeah. Be my guest. Creighton's not going to give them those threes. It's going to be a rough day on offense. I kind of like an under.
Spoon, you want to break? You kind of like an under. I'm sorry.
I like Creighton, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I could get
don't
behind
like-
an under with TV Jones. I could get behind an
Well,
under.
I was actually looking under too. Both these teams run slow paces. Neither turn the ball over.
I can see that. I don't hate that.
Neither get to the free throw.
Well, I was
line
actually
either.
about to bet that Xavier Marquette under. What's 141 and a half. See, this is a much more reasonable total, though.
I bet you this game closes like 138.
Really?
I mean, the way that totals have been moving in these, I mean, especially in these types of games, if a lot of people, I mean, maybe not one, probably at least 2 points. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't looked at
Wow. So it looks like it opened at 140, went all the way up to 143 and a half, and has since come back down to 141 and a half.
I see it juiced over 141 and a half right now.
We were thinking
So going up.
the.
I know. I'm saying that if it goes up.
Duck played under 139 and a half for what it worth.
in this game.
Yes.
Really? Duck I see under.
Yes. I might play that 142 now.
What do you think, Spoon?
I like the under. Villanova plays with a much slower pace than what Creighton does, and I think Villanova is the better team playing at home. I think they'll set the pace for most of this game. I don't think that's a good thing for Creighton. I think Villanova wins this game. I think 6.5 is probably about right. I think they win by, I don't know, 8 points or so, and it's just not quite enough of an edge for me to get on Villanova. I think Creighton's really in a down year this year, and I think Villanova's got a lot to prove. I think Kevin Willard's a really good coach. They played a tough schedule opening the season versus BYU. They lost there, and they lost to Michigan, as has every other team that's played Michigan this year. So
Yeah.
I think this is a team that they can definitely beat, but I don't really want to get involved with laying 6.5 points, but there's no way I'd get on Creighton's side.
That's exactly how I feel.
I just pulled the trigger and bet that under. Not in this one. Yeah. Xavier Marquette under. I just grabbed that. And I bet it, not a trade. I bet it. All right. Well, we got to pass the ball to TV Jones here because he said in all capitals what his pick is in this one, and he seemed confidence level is high.
I
What is
did.
it?
He loves Baylor.
When did I say that?
Dude. In the Discord, you typed in all capital letters, everyone take Baylor. Are you crazy? You don't remember that?
I did not say take Baylor.
Guarantee. I'll pull it up right now.
What? I haven't even thought about Baylor.
Oh my God, it was Drake.
I was just saying, what?
Oh man, it was Timu Trent. Sorry about that. So anyway, it's not. I thought it was TV Jones. It came up with a T. I glanced it. It wasn't Trevor. So someone, Drake in the chat really likes Baylor. He said it. He told everyone to take Baylor.
But go ahead, Trevor. I have a bet in this game, but I'm curious now what your thoughts are because that seems more important.
He's like, I didn't say anything about Baylor. I haven't even thought about Baylor. He said.
No, but I do like Baylor. Iowa State's coming in undefeated. James Nanjai, whatever the NBA player that Baylor has, didn't look great last game. But he's got his feet under him. Now he's got Iowa State here, Baylor at home. Scott Drew, really good coach. Baylor, I think, is better than they were last year. Iowa State, I get is good, but they play a decent defensive team here on the road. I think this is a kind of a grinder game a little bit. I think late game we start to get fouls and quick buckets, and it starts to go up. But I think Baylor can hang defensively. I think they'll be able to get shots and hang in this game. And then coming down the stretch, who's going to make their free throws? 68% Iowa State or 76% Baylor.
It's not even that much of a difference, dude. 68.
7%.
No, I know, but like the way you phrased it, I thought it was going to be like something outrageous.
I mean, still 7%. 287 in the country versus 60.
It's a good point. It's a good point, TV Jones.
I don't think so.
I mean, Baylor can shoot, they can score. They played a decent schedule too. I mean, they just lost to TCU. Now you're coming back home. I kind of like the spot for Baylor. See what this number will do, but I do like Baylor. 6 points feels like way too much for Baylor at home here.
What are your guys' thoughts? Agree, disagree?
Hard disagree. I've already laid 5.5 with Iowa State here. I just think they're a much better basketball team. It's going to be a huge step up in competition for them. I will give you that. They've only played 213 strength of schedule. Baylor by far a much better schedule, as Trevor mentioned. I think that this matters to me more. I think it matters a lot more than for Iowa State than we would think, because I mean, Iowa State's at a point where they're looking at a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to go undefeated in the Big 12. That's not what I'm saying, but they're scheduled or projected to win almost all of their games except for Arizona in the Big 12. So if they were able to do that, and they would have a very good chance at a number 1 seed, but for them to do this, they're going to have to win these games like Baylor, Kansas, UCF, TCU, these quad 1 and 2 games. They're going to need these games. I think that you're going to have a very focused Iowa State team here that's went on the road to Purdue already and slaughtered Purdue. I know that Baylor got that Nunjai kid, and like Trevor said, he played just a little bit. I think he played like 10 or 15 minutes or something like that, had a few points. It doesn't really move the needle for me. I think that Iowa State is a significantly better basketball team. I made them -6.5 even on the road in Baylor.
They only beat Iowa by 4, though, and Iowa's not as impressive as we thought. The road win at Purdue is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They did beat St. John's.
Like I said, this is a huge step up in class for them, and St. John's sucks, so that win is kind of fugazi.
I feel like
the Big East is just UConn. I bet you UConn -800 to win the Big East is probably a plus if you play right now.
I feel like we don't have
Iowa plays with slow pace.
Well, I feel like based on the evidence I'm looking at right here, we don't have enough evidence to say Iowa State's the considerably better team. So I kind of lean with what do you think, Spoon?
I think Iowa State's the considerably better team. I think Scott Drew's a really good coach, but I think Altenberger has his number. Since 2023, Baylor's 1-5 versus Iowa State. And I think Baylor's in a down year, and I think Iowa State has a much better team. I think the defense that Iowa State plays with is unparalleled in the country, and the offense is really on track this year. You can say that Iowa win wasn't that impressive, but I mean, they really slow the pace down when you play Iowa, so it's hard to walk away from them. And that's a regional rivalry. Both teams really get up for that. So that 4-point win, I think, is very impressive. They beat Purdue handily on the road in Mackey. That's a really tough gym to go in and win in. I think this is something that Altenberger's done to the last 3 years, going into this gym and winning. I think he can do it again here. I'm not ready to lay 5.5, but definitely strong lean to Iowa State.
I am on TV Jones' side of this one. I think it's Baylor. Not enough data points to say that this team should be laying 6 points on the road.
You remember how much fun we had betting Baylor last year?
So much fun.
Electric.
I wanted to break my television at that one power forward. That you guys tried telling me how good he was, and this dude just had cinder blocks for hands.
Yeah, it's Norchad
Omier.
Yes.
So the fun part about betting Baylor last year was VJ Edgecombe. There's no VJ Edgecombe here. This Baylor team is much different.
They're much more of a team.
Yeah, they're much more of a team.
Yeah, but Iowa State's bringing everybody back. They're one of the most experienced teams in the country.
I kind of want to bet Baylor now because you guys are weirdly
Baylor,
confident.
You can 10 times it for Iowa State. I'm an Iowa State hater.
Yeah, I think I'm going to bet Baylor there. The Toast is weirdly confident, and even Spoon is I don't know why they're so confident.
Because I'm hot right now. That's all.
It's because I'm hot right now. It's probably on a heater. You never walk away from the table when you're on a heater.
Never walk away on a heater.
Troy, Arkansas State. Spoon, this was yours, I believe.
Yeah, Troy, Arkansas State. Scott Cross, coach for Troy, has been there for quite a few years now. Arkansas State has a new coach this year, Ryan Pannone. It's one Nate Oates coach replaced by the next one here at Arkansas State. And Troy and Arkansas State went back and forth last year, had some really tough games, then played in their conference tournament versus each other. Troy brings back all but 2 starters this year. It's a very experienced team. That Arkansas State team does not bring back a lot of players. Troy's played some really tough games. They've gone to overtime 4 different times this year. They play close games almost to the level of their competition. And I think they're at the same level as Arkansas State on paper. They grade out better metrically defensively. Offensively, Arkansas State edges them out a little bit, but I think this is a what we'd call circled game for Scott Crossier. And Arkansas State's coach has nothing to do with this rivalry. Brand new to the conference. So he's a former G League and overseas coach. He's dropped quite a few games this year. They played some tough competition, but they just lost to James Madison, another tough Sun Belt team. They opened the season versus Texas State and Southern Miss, got easy wins there. Troy is better than all of those teams. I think plus 3.5 is a silly number to get paid minus 105 for it.
What do you think it closes like 1?
I don't think it moves that much. Maybe Troy plus 1.5.
Okay. Either you guys have thoughts on that? This was Spoon's game. Do you guys have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was gonna bet Arkansas. I still kind of like Arkansas State solely because they can crash the glass, but I'm not betting this. Arkansas State, completely new team, coach, players, everything. Had it been carryover, I would have been on them because Troy knocked them out of the championship of the conference tournament last year. But new team, new coach, system inactive.
System inactive. All right.
Shouldn't have told him that stuff. He would have done it.
Yeah, he tried to make it out. He's like, because of the battle on the glass, as if he just didn't blindly fade Spoon there.
Oh, yeah, call me.
Alabama's catching
It's just a
for?
little shtick. Yeah.
Vanderbilt's really good.
Dude,
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Weird ass Jim
you were gonna-
playing too.
Alabama's winning this
If you're
game.
going to build a team to play with Alabama, you'd build it exactly like Mark Byington has done with this
Mark
Vanderbilt
Byington,
team.
Yeah, he's literally Timu Nate Oates. It's exactly what he is.
Very fast tempo.
He wins games.
One thing Vanderbilt does that Alabama doesn't is play defense. Over the course of 40 minutes, that's going to start to add up. I'm not going to lay points with Vanderbilt here. Alabama is constructed in a way where they can punch up in any single game and beat any team in the country. All it takes for them to do is just shoot well from the field. Vanderbilt undefeated at this point in the season, kind of walking a tightrope, and that's what it's like playing Alabama. They're going to force the pace. They're going to shoot a ton of threes. Obviously, Vanderbilt has the advantage here playing at home, but I'm not trying to fade Alabama right now, but if I was forced to bet this game, it would be Vanderbilt.
Alabama's the play, right? TV Jones?
No, I like Vanderbilt. Weird ass Jim to go playing at home. Vanderbilt, like he said, is built to play with Alabama and score. Alabama's lost step up games here. Purdue, Gonzaga, Arizona lost those. Vanderbilt, if you want to play the KenPom game, they're 6th in KenPom.
Oh, I can't wait to play the game.
Yeah, we'll play the game. Fine. But Mark Byington, really good coach. I mean, they've beaten UCF, they beat VCU, they beat St. Mary's, they beat SMU, they beat Memphis, they beat Wake Forest, they beat South Carolina. They're not playing cupcakes. They're playing an actual schedule. What?
Those sounded like cupcakes to me.
They're good teams.
So we're calling St. Mary's a cupcake now?
I see 5 games on Alabama's.
SMU's a cupcake now?
I see 5 games on Alabama's schedule against top 12 teams.
Didn't you bet
Because everyone's
UCF
scared
today?
to.
You're betting
Byington
cupcakes?
can't get teams to schedule them.
What? Wait, I bet UCF today. How are they related?
That's one of the teams they beat.
Oh, yeah.
Are they a cupcake?
I'm not saying they're playing the worst teams in college basketball, but Alabama's played 5 games against top 12 opponents, playing the best
How did
teams in the
those
country.
games go?
They beat St. John's. They beat Illinois. They lost to Gonzaga. They lost to Purdue. They lost to Arizona. Has Vanderbilt played one team of that caliber?
No.
What are
Vanderbilt
we doing
hasn't
here?
played-
Alabama's winning this
Vanderbilt
game.
hasn't even played a team in the top 25.
This
Like,
is
what are we talking?
Alabama.
It's Alabama
You guys are
plus
nuts.
4.5. Alabama on the money line
Money
plus
line.
176. Get out of town with this number. I don't care what you have, Ken Pomeroy, at -7. You're out of your mind. I agree. The variance here will be a factor, and maybe, just maybe, Alabama doesn't hit their shots in that weird gym. But the last 2 times they went into that gym, they've had no problem whooping that ass, and they probably won't have another time tomorrow. Alabama's played the hardest schedule in the country. They beat St. John's up in Madison Square Garden. They beat Illinois in the Blackhawk Stadium, whatever. They went on the road way to UNLV as well. They've played a couple neutrals. This Alabama team is tested at home, on the road, on a neutral. I don't really care what they're playing at. And as far as Vanderbilt goes, we talked about that schedule. I mean, I don't think that any of those teams that we talk about Memphis, is that really a great team? No, not really. SMU, give or take. I mean, not really. St. Mary's is in kind of like a down year. They really haven't been playing really basketball well for the last month, been kind of skating by teams. So I don't really put a ton of that, not to mention that was the third game in 3 days. A lot of weird things happen in those types of games. I don't see anything that's impressive from Vanderbilt, and everything that they do is just like Alabama. They're going to be trying to play Alabama's game. I don't like that situation. I think Alabama's the better basketball team. I think Alabama's played a better schedule, and I think this game should be a pick at minimum, regardless at home or on the road. I think 176 on the money line is an absolute criminal price. I've already bet both of these.
I just got plus 172 money line Alabama. Roll time.
Yeah, get ready to learn law tomorrow, buddy, because Vanderbilt's coming.
Pick sharp. Next up, we got.
Mm-hmm. So was Oklahoma State today.
How'd your Ball State pick go? Last I checked, they were down 45.
Oh, wow. We just going back to one game here. Yeah, I picked the Ball State game wrong. I'll admit it. I'd bet that shit
I
tomorrow.
think if you're going Bama, there's no point in taking the points. If they lose, they lose big. Like, just take the money line.
Arizona, BYU. The last two games, I think I threw on you. Oh no, there's 3 games left, and 2 of them were ads. I didn't realize Arizona State was this bad.
I was wondering why you clicked that one.
I thought this game was going to be like BYU -9. I didn't realize Arizona State was this bad, so we can skip it.
I do think that, man, I really want to play Arizona State. Am I crazy, Trevor?
Yeah. You want to back Bobby away from home against a BYU team? That sounds like no fun. In all honesty,
I really do. I think that they play a similar crazy up and down style, and I think they're crazy enough. I think that they're big enough with BYU to get some offensive rebounds or some rebounds in general. I feel like sooner or later BYU's not going to put up 85 to 100 points. I don't know. I wanted like 20 personally. I don't know if I'm actually going to get that, but if I can get 20, I'm going to do that. I mean, it's not like Arizona State hasn't played some good basketball teams. I mean, up and down. I mean, it's not like they're playing cupcakes. BYU's played a very good schedule as well. But my point is that I don't think Arizona State is that bad to where they should be catching 17.5 in a conference game. I thought this should have been more around the 14 number. So I didn't bet it or anything like that, but I really, really want to bet Arizona State tomorrow.
Seems like, well, TV Jones, you know he's going to pick BYU. BYU struck the fear of God in this man.
No, I'm not betting it. I don't.
It's
no, I'm not. They're terrified of us. They won't even come here to play us. Oh, we got to go to Elevation. Let's go play.
They ended your season. You rescheduled them the next year and got the shit beat out of you.
Yeah, because we had to go play on a Barney court at like 3 p.m. in Elevation.
So you would take Wisconsin on a neutral against BYU right now?
Yeah, I'd lay points with Wisconsin.
Depending on the color of the court.
Jesus Christ.
Regular basketball court, like regular people, yeah, Wisconsin.
You didn't even take them today against UCLA missing.
I had the over, and I got hooked. Why is this so funny, man? This ain't funny.
know.
All right,
we got a miracle technical late to get 2 extra fouls. He makes them, misses the last free throw of the game. Just poetry.
Spoon, anything here, or should we move on to the last 2?
Hey, Nevada's winning by 1 with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, what do you have, plus 2.5 there, Toast?
Yeah, or 1.5.
BYU, this is a really good team, but if we look at them when they've stepped up competition versus the Power 4, outside of Wisconsin, they've all been really tight games, and we know that Wisconsin's pretty dog shit this year. I think Arizona State can probably keep this under the number, but I'm not going to bet it.
Didn't sound like any of you guys were betting that one.
If it gets up to like BYU 19.5 or something, I'd probably take a little bit of a half unit play with Arizona State.
Arkansas, Ole Miss. Is this one I added too?
Well, we got to talk about it regardless. So I love the Hogs. Trevor loves the Hogs.
Wow,
Trevor can go first.
You guys love the Hogs here.
Oh, I don't know about this game. I just love them in general. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, you're just an overall fan of
overall fan of the Hog. Yes.
The fuck. Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, I love the Hog too, but I don't know about this one. I mean, you got Ole Miss coming home off of a loss. This is just kind of set up for them. Arkansas coming off of the big Tennessee game at home, big win. Now you're going to hit the road playing Ole Miss team that's coming off of a loss. Actually, we might have a system play here. Arkansas was knocked out of the SEC tournament by Ole Miss last year, but I'm still going to stick with my guns here. Ole Miss is going to keep this close. They can shoot, they can defend. I think them coming home off a loss, Arkansas off the big Tennessee win, then hitting the road. I just think it's kind of a rough spot. I think Arkansas wins, but I think it comes down to the last couple of possessions here, and they win by 3 or 4.
Everybody is picking Arkansas in the poll.
Yeah, I agree with Trevor. I agree with Trevor. I think this was a get-up game for Ole Miss here. I don't know if I actually bet it, but I don't really like laying multiple possessions with this Arkansas team, especially not on the road right now. I mean, they've only played one road game. That was Sparty, so it's not like it was a cupcake or anything, and they played really well in that game. Almost probably could have won that game. They ended up losing by 3. And obviously, I'm not trying to compare Mississippi and Michigan State at all, but Mississippi has also played like some pretty decent teams. Again, I'm not trying to compare their schedules or anything like that. I'm just, as far as Mississippi's concerned, they've played some decent teams on a couple neutrals, regardless of how you think of those teams, St. John's being the number one. But regardless, they just got done playing a game against NC State that they kind of let that one get away from them. But it's more of the fact that I don't really trust Arkansas laying this type of number on the road in conference play, at least, especially with Auburn on deck on the road. I think this is like a pack it in type, not a pack it in as far as them playing, but try to get in there with a win and get out. I think this is a huge get up game for Ole Miss. I kind of want 6 personally, but it would only be Ole Miss for me.
Spoon?
Not to mention Auburn on deck on the road for Arkansas.
Yeah.
I was looking, dude, Arkansas is so much better than Ole Miss, though.
Yeah, I lean Arkansas here. I think they're the much better team. This number probably is about accurate. I don't feel like I need to bet this or anything, but just about any way we break this down, Arkansas is the better team. I get it's a decent spot for Mississippi, but if we look at them when they played upper competitions, sure, they kept it close versus Iowa and St. John's, but both of those teams play with a really slow pace. When we look at Miami, who steps it up and pace a little bit, they lost a little bit more considerably. Even Oklahoma, off a 16-point loss, I think Arkansas can open this up close to double digits.
All right. No interest there. Last game, we could do this one quick. 20.5 Arizona. I just added it, but we don't have to talk about this one. Any reason about this one or no?
Man, did Kansas State, did something happen in that BYU game? Remember it got steamed crazy? Did somebody get hurt or anything like that? But I'm sorry, like I know that's just off the top of my head, and I just started thinking about it, and I remember that number being all weird in that BYU game. But regardless, Kansas State looked pretty decent against BYU. That was at home. They've only played one road game, and that was against Indiana, and they got absolutely shelled. I mean, Arizona's been cooking everybody. They haven't lost. Do I really want to lay 20 in a kind of a sleepy spot? Not really. Not that they have any game on deck or anything like that. It's just one of these games where I think you're going to have to be really engaged for the whole game for you to cover this number, and I don't know if they're actually going to do that. So it would only be Kansas State plus the 20.5. But again, I'm not betting it.
Either guys have any thoughts, or should I move on to NBA?
Kansas State lost. Kansas State lost their starting power forward for that last game. I don't have any information on it. He just didn't play.
Something happened, yeah.
I think this is an Arizona spot. They're a really good team. They see Michigan absolutely blowing these lines up, blowing teams out. This is kind of the point in the season where you're looking forward to the tournament and if you start blowing teams out like this is how you get yourself a 1 seed. Arizona wants one of those 1 seeds this year. They deserve one of those 1 seeds this year. I'm not trying to fade them.
By the way, so San Diego State.
Oh, I know, baby.
They just missed a free throw. It's 3-point game, 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
TV Jones, any thoughts on this one, or should I move on to NBA?
Over or nothing. Kansas State plays no defense. Arizona can run it up.
He missed it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They gave him an open look too to tie the game. San Diego State got the ball. They're shooting free throws. You're in great shape.
17 seconds left. All right, let's go.
All right.
Did you guys?
All right.
The half court heave brought me no magic.
All right, everyone.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
All right, I'm going to talk some NBA later, guys. All right. Doing 11 NBA games or 12 NBA games by myself is going to be a challenge, so bear with me here. I won both my NBA bets. Actually, the Wizards, I said it before, the Wizards was my biggest NBA bet of the year. I had Wizards money line twice and the Wizards plus 7.5. It was a nice one. Nice Wizards bet. All right, first up, Raptors, Hornets. Let me get my stuff over here. All right, Raptors, Hornets. So betting on the Hornets has been extremely profitable. The Hornets have, you could probably make an argument that the Hornets have the hottest offense in the NBA right now. They're second in offensive efficiency in the last 10 games. And it's not like they've played a cupcake schedule or anything. This Hornets team, everything's falling for Charlotte right now. So it's tough to see Charlotte priced as a home dog. They've honestly been doing this without a center either. Diabate just came back. Kalkbrenner, I don't think he's coming back. He's listed as questionable, but I don't think he's coming back. But Diabate is back. They were doing this without a true center too. So they're still missing Kalkbrenner most likely. Still missing Plumlee. Grant Williams hasn't played all year. So they're a little bit thin down low. But honestly, Toronto doesn't really have a center either. There's no Jakob Poeltl right now. They played pretty tough down low. That rookie, Murray Boyles, is very good for Toronto. He looked very strong in the Atlanta game. I watched that entire game. He's a good player, Murray Boyles. So we can't just gas up the Hornets without mentioning that Toronto looks really good as well. That Atlanta game, I watched the entire thing. This defense is for real. This team is playing some defense right now. The Hawks have been scoring recently. They could not get an open shot. They could not generate an open look against this Toronto defense. The Raptors are 4-1 in their last 5, 4-1 against the spread. We just saw them come back from down 21 points to beat the Magic last week. Now, their offense is a little bit streaky. Really struggle against zone defenses. I'm not sure if that's a factor here. Just wrote it down because I thought it was interesting. Read it. Hawks didn't show much zone defense at all. What did I want to point out about this graphic? Here it is. All 5 of these games were at home. So the Raptors have been playing elite defense. They're winning games. They're covering. They've played 5 straight home games. Now they're going to go out on the road. Toronto's defense has been great down low, but all Charlotte does is launch threes. In fact, it's crazy to say, the Charlotte Hornets are the best 3-point shooting offense in the NBA right now. They're 4th in frequency, 1st in efficiency. So they launch a shitload of them, and they hit them at a better rate than anyone else in the NBA. Those are Boston Celtics 3-point shooting numbers right there. This Hornets offense is chucking up threes, and they're making them. So Toronto's been elite defensively down low. Hornets ain't trying to go down low. They just want to launch threes. A little bit worried because the Hawks couldn't generate an open shot. But, I mean, this Hornets team is hitting contested shots right now. It's the first leg of a back-to-back for the Hornets. I'm not sure if that's a factor for anything. They play the Pacers tomorrow. Both of these teams are better than their records show. I guess I'll say Hornets. This isn't one. I probably would make the game a pick, so I guess at plus 2.5, I'd go Hornets. I agree the Raptors are probably the stronger team, but laying 2.5 on the road against Hornets team is playing with this much confidence right now. The Hornets look great, so I'll go Hornets plus 2.5. But this isn't one I have. All right, next up is Bulls, Pistons. RJ makes a difference on defense. Nah, he makes a difference on offense, maybe. That defense looked good before RJ Barrett came back. All right, Chicago, Detroit. So we saw Kobe White come back. And remember, the Bulls lost their 2 leading scorers there, Giddey and Kobe White. And they actually held it together for a couple games. They played the Pelicans and I think it was Orlando. They actually looked all right for a couple games, but it seems like the injuries are starting to catch up with the Bulls here. 103.7 offensive rating in their last 2 games. They really need Josh Giddey back. Kobe White did come back and play in the Boston game, but I'm reading that he's probably going to sit either this one or the game tomorrow. They're on a back-to-back, so they might not even have Kobe White in this one. Jalen Smith is out now, as well as Zach Collins, who's been out. The injuries are just piling up for this Bulls team. Now, the Pistons are missing their entire front court. Remember, there's no Toby Harris, there's no Jalen Duren here, but the Bulls' offense is so thin in the front court themselves. The offense is kind of running through Vucevic right now. Vucevic had 15, 15, and 7 against the Celtics. They were kind of running it inside out through Vucevic, kicking it out to shooters. The Bulls attempted a lot of threes in that game. It didn't work. They got smoked by the Celtics. The reason I'm bringing this up is you would think, oh, well, the Pistons are thin in the front court as well. Well, actually, defensively, I actually think they might be better with Isaiah Stewart at the 5 right now. Isaiah Stewart just won the Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Month. Isaiah Stewart's lockdown down there. He's been playing great. So Vucevic is really the only threat offensively that the Bulls have in the front court. Isaiah Stewart's going to be on them. I think the Pistons can continue to play great defense in this one. Buzelis is also on the injury report listed as questionable. Did that get updated? No, he's still listed as questionable. So this Bulls team is just a mess right now. The Pistons have been elite defensively, and I don't have any reason to think it stops here. They're actually the best defense in the NBA in their last 10 games, best defense in the NBA in their last 5 games. Bulls, are, like I said, they run their offense inside out, attack the paint a lot. Pistons have been one of the best interior defenses in the NBA. We just talked about Isaiah Stewart. The Bulls' strength has been keeping opponents off the offensive glass, but without so look at this graphic. One of the Bulls' strengths have been keeping teams from grabbing offensive rebounds, right? They have great defensive rebounding numbers. Well, we just saw them play their first game without Jalen Smith. The Celtics grabbed 20 offensive rebounds in the game, so I don't even think they can keep teams off the offensive glass right now, something Detroit's very good at. Pistons are 19-6 against Eastern Conference opponents. Yeah, I think the table's set for Detroit to just run away with this one. So it would only be Pistons for me here. I think the Bulls are just kind of terrible right now, if I'm being honest. It'd only be Pistons for me in this one. Next up, Wizards Sixers. Is this? Well, when I was preparing everything, the lines weren't open for this one. Obviously, the Wizards were still playing. So it looks like we're at Wizards plus 12.5. Sixers minus 12.5. And the total's at 234.5. Okay, so here's where I'm looking in this one. And this is a bet I'm considering placing right now. Like I might do it right here. So here's where I'm looking. So the last 4 times we've seen the Wizards play on a back-to-back, because remember, the Wizards just played a game at home. Not that the flight from DC to Philly is long. It's actually, you can probably get there in an hour and change in the car. So it's a very short trip, but it is a back-to-back. They just finished a game against the Magic. The last 4 times we've seen the Wizards play a back-to-back, in the second leg, Chris Middleton didn't play. So I don't think Chris Middleton's playing back-to-backs this year. I think he's like 36, 37 years old now. So most likely not going to see Chris Middleton. In those last 4 games, the offense has sucked. Offensive rating just over 106. Terrible. They're 0-4 in those 4 games. They did cover the number a couple times, but the last 4 times we saw the Wizards play a back-to-back, on the second leg, the offense looked like trash, and there was no Chris Middleton on the court. So I don't think we're going to see Chris Middleton here. Don't really trust the Wizards offense in this one. And I know you look at this graphic, you look at the last 5 games for Philadelphia, last 10 games, it kind of looks like the Sixers offense is falling, the Sixers defense is falling off here, right? Last 10 games, they're 18th. Last 5 games, they're 23rd. If you rewind back a couple of weeks, the Sixers were playing some good defense. So at a quick glance, it's like, oh shit, the Sixers defense is falling off here. If you actually take a look at their schedule, I mean, if you're talking about the Sixers defense, they played the Knicks, who could score on anybody, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, when they saw the Mavericks, they played a great defensive game. When they saw the Bulls, they played a great defensive game. So their recent defensive numbers might be a little bit skewed. They played a few elite offenses recently. A home game against a Wizards team with no Middleton coming off a back-to-back should be the perfect time for the Wizards to flex their defensive muscles here. I think it'll be the best defensive game the Sixers have played in a while. I like the Sixers here. I think they win comfortably, but the Wizards are scary right now. They just won a game for me tonight on the money line and the +7.5. They've also done a great job defensively on the perimeter. Philly likes to take some outside shots. They've been great defensively against pull-up jump shooters. Pull-up jump shooters, that's Maxey, that's Paul George, that's Embiid. There's a lot of there's a lot of players in that Philadelphia lineup that love taking pull-up jump shots. The Wizards have been a top 10 defense against pull-up jump shooters. So I'm not in a hurry to bet the -12.5, but what about an under here? What I originally said was Wizards team total under, but man, this Wizards defense, they're on the upswing. The Wizards are playing some basketball here. I think you go under in this one. 234.5 is a big number. Why are my graphics so out of order? Every single night, my NBA graphics are out of order. I'm not sure why it's not sorting. One sec. Oh, you know what? It's because when I made the graphics, this game wasn't ready. That's right. So here, Wizards team total under, but I think I'm just going to take a 234.5 right now. Has it taken any money yet? No. Circa's got 233.5. Screw it. I'm betting an under. Pause the show. I'm betting this under right now. Wizards. See, I can get it 234.5 on DraftKings. Let's bet 365. Yeah. Looks like that's 234.5 -110. Looks like that's the best I'm going to get right now. Someone said, I think the Sixers blow them out. I kind of think that also, but I think the Wizards might not even get to 104 points. So rather than risk it with the Sixers against a Wizards defense that's been improved, I think 126-104 here, final score. There we go. I'm in. Under 234.5. I don't have a graphic that shows it. So the graphic that's on the screen is not what I'm on the under 234.5. Just bet it. Refresh so everyone gets the notification. Sorry, one sec. There we go. All right, cool. All right, let's move on. Nuggets, Celtics, tough one. By the way, I forgot to even bring this up. So Kelly Oubre might be back for the Sixers. He hasn't played since mid-November. And also Trent Watford might be back for the Sixers as well. He hasn't played since late November. So the Sixers might be a bit healthier. Kelly Oubre's, at times he could be a good defender. So, yeah, I think the Sixers are going to play a solid defensive game here, and I think that's what we'll see. The Sixers control this game defensively. Now, on to the next one. Oh, let me get the poll up. Nuggets, Celtics. All right, so I kind of think Boston wins this one running away. Just give credit to the Nuggets. They've kept it competitive without Jokic recently. So, obviously, the lead story with Denver right now is the injuries. Look at that injury report. That's just crazy. Let's see if there's been any updates. Nope. So, Aaron Gordon, Tim Hardaway, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, all listed as questionable. Tough to really make a call with a situation like that. Also tough to consider betting against Boston. They're 8-1 in their last 9 games, 7-2 against the spread. Offensive rating up close to 126 over a 9-game span. That's consistent scoring. So Boston's as hot offensively as any team in the NBA right now. And Denver, although they've held it together, they're in their 4 games since the Jokic injury. They're 2-2 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. So they've been competitive without Jokic, but not on the defensive side. The defense looks like shit. It's their offense that's keeping them in these games. So You've got a Boston Celtics offense that's been red hot, one of the hottest offenses in the NBA. They're at home against a Nuggets team without Jokic that can't seem to generate stops. So I think we can count on Boston scoring in this one. It's just a matter of, do we think Denver's offense can keep up? It's Boston's going to score 125 points in this game. It's just a matter of, do we think Denver can keep up? It's tough. I mean, like I said, Denver has looked pretty good offensively. The Celtics have been great defensively as well. They're 9th in defensive efficiency in the last 10 games, but the strength of schedule is a little concerning here. They played one of the easiest schedules in the league in the last 10. They actually haven't played. They played one game against the Clippers, the Celtics. Outside of that game, they haven't seen a good offense in like 3.5 weeks. So I'm not sure about the Celtics defense. Remember, they were having some problems defensively earlier in the year. They've hit a really easy stretch of schedule. So it's easiest for us to point at the last few weeks and be like, Celtics look great defensively when they haven't seen a ton of powerful offenses. I think the Celtics win this one running away. It would be, I just deleted myself there. I think the Celtics win this one running away. Like I said, it would be Celtics or over here. That's where I would go with this one. Celtics or over. I'll put Boston up on the screen, but I would go Celtics or over. That's where I'd go with this one. Someone said it's Murray keeping them alive. Yeah, well, that's the thing. We don't even know if Murray's playing in this game, and that's another reason I don't have a bet on it, all those question marks. I'm sure if you do a deep dive to find some patterns in between what the coach says and what the coach says and who ends up playing in those situations, I'm sure you can find some edges there. I didn't take the time to do that, so I couldn't tell you who's playing for Denver. I bet this one. You guys already know. You guys already know what I did here because it's the same thing I've done. Same thing I've done continually. And that is blindly fade. The Knicks are a blind fade right now, guys. They're 5-6 in their last 11, so they've won a few of the games, but they're 1-10 against the spread since the NBA Cup. 1-10 against the spread, and the one win, we still won that bet. If you remember, that opened at a pick, and we all jumped on the Spurs. It closed Spurs minus 3.5. The Knicks hit a late 3 to cover. They covered the plus 3.5, but we all got in at a pick early. So if you jumped on the lines early like we did, they're actually 0-11 against the spread since the NBA Cup. The Knicks aren't playing well right now. Defensively, they look like shit. A 120.9 defensive rating in their last 11 games. I mean, this team really needs Josh Hart back. As a Knicks fan, the NBA season is very similar to Major League Baseball. If you went into it thinking you weren't going to see your team hit a cold stretch, you're not living in reality. I mean, the NBA is very similar to Major League Baseball. You're going to have hot weeks. You're going to have a hot month. You're going to have a cold month. That's just how it goes. And the Knicks defense looks like shit right now. They really could use Josh Hart back on the court, just an energy shift. He's kind of a guy that picks up the energy of the team. So getting Josh Hart back would be cool. Brown's trying to throw Towns and Mitchell Robinson on the court at the same time. Doesn't really work. I don't like Towns in the 4. It's not meshing. So the Knicks have some problems right now, specifically on the defensive end. And honestly, the offense is dipping too. In that loss to the Pistons, Jalen Brunson had 0 assists, 6 turnovers. And that was against a Pistons team who was missing their front court on a back-to-back. So it's actually a good spot for the Knicks against the Pistons. And Brunson had 0 assists, 6 turnovers. So we're even seeing the offense dip for the Knicks. Now, I'm going to come right out and say it. I don't like this scheduling spot for the Clippers. We just took the Clippers against Golden State the other night. Huge win. Kawhi Leonard is on a rampage right now. He's playing as well as any player in the league. I think he's got 3 40-point games in his last 8 or something. Like, this dude's unstoppable. Clippers are red hot. I think they're, I want to say like 8-1 in their last 9, 7-1 in their last 8, something like that. But you got the Clippers coming off a huge win over Golden State that came down to the wire. That was in LA. You immediately fly across the country to play the Knicks. And this is a Knicks team that needs a win. Now, I'm not sure the status of Harden. He was a late scratch against Golden State. So I think he even dressed for the game. So the fact that he was so close to playing against Golden State, hopefully I'm on the Clippers. So hopefully Harden does end up playing. And then hopefully we see this line come down to like a 4. But yeah, I don't know the status of Harden. But I just don't like how this spot for the Knicks. You got the Clippers coming off one of the biggest games of the year, made a statement, beat Steph Curry. Everyone was watching. Now you fly all the way across the country to play a Knicks team that's going to be in desperation mode. This Knicks team needs to win a game. So I don't like that for the Clippers, but the way these two teams are playing right now, how could you not take the Clippers +6? The way Kawhi Leonard is playing right now, the Knicks can't stop anybody. They're one of the worst defenses in the NBA recently. So, yeah, Clippers +6, grab this one. I think it's not even going to be any analysis. I think I'm just going to blindly fade the Knicks every game until they cover one. Why would I not? It's been pretty successful. So why would I stop doing that? So yeah, I did bet this. I'm on the Clippers +6. I think if Harden is ruled in, that this closes at like a 4. So yeah, I could see 57% of the poll taking the Clippers. I think a lot of people have been just blindly fading the Knicks with me there. I think there's a large group of us doing that. All right. I bet this game. Magic Nets. It looks like the market's starting to get on top of it. I still don't think it's gone far enough. And what I'm talking about is I think the market's starting to get on top of the fact that the Magic are not a good basketball team right now. I hit the Wizards money line tonight. It was one of my biggest NBA bet of the season, actually, was Wizards money line tonight. So it says that Franz Wagner's listed as questionable here. From what I'm reading, he's actually been ruled out. So scratch that. He was listed as questionable about 2 hours ago. So it looks like he has been ruled out. I was about to say, I don't think he's going to play. So it looks like I was right on that prediction. Franz Wagner has been ruled out. Good news if you're an Orlando fan, it looks like he is coming back soon. There was an off chance that he played in this game. So I think Franz Wagner will be back within the next couple games. Not this one, though. We've seen the Magic play 8 games, now 9. This graphic doesn't include tonight's game. So it's 9, and they're now 4-5, 3-6 against the spread in the 9 games without Suggs and Wagner. But look at the defense. This is a team that the reason they had success last year is they played great defense. It's been terrible. The Wizards in the first half were cooking on the Magic in this one. And now we're not just talking about a struggling defense. We're talking about a struggling defense on a back-to-back, going on the road to Brooklyn with no rest against a Nets team that's pretty much fully healthy here. Nick Claxton was dealing with, I actually think he had a personal matter. I don't think he was hurt, but he missed a couple games. He is now back. Michael Porter Jr. missed a couple games. He was sick. He is now back. He came back for the Nuggets game. They beat the Nuggets. This Nets team is fully healthy right now. And even though I don't really trust the Nets a whole lot offensively, I think anyone could score on the Magic right now. They're just so bad. I think this is a perfect spot for the Nets defense to get back on track. Remember, the Nets were like a top 5 defensive team for about a month span there. Last 4 games, the numbers look shitty for the Nets defense. 2 of those games were without Nick Claxton, who is their most important defensive player. And the other 2, they played Golden State. They played Houston. Michael Porter Jr. sat out one of those games. I think one was on the first leg of a back-to-back, and they rested a few guys. So you look at the last 4 games, and you could say, the Nets defense has fallen off a cliff. But if you take into consideration the scheduling and who sat in those games, I'm not panicking about this. I trust this Nets defense, and I think the Magic on a back-to-back coming into Brooklyn against a rested, healthy Nets team, I think this is the perfect spot for the Nets to get back on track defensively. There's no other way to say this other than until the Magic gets Suggs back and Wagner back, I'm going to continue to price them as a bad team. You look at the last 10 games. First of all, the Nets have been the better team. In the last 10 games, Orlando's 20th in offensive efficiency, 22nd in defensive efficiency. The Nets are 24th and 3rd. So in the last 10 games, the Nets have been just flat out better. Look at the strength of schedule. Orlando, 27th. The Nets, 14th. We just saw the Magic get dusted up by the Wizards. I don't think this Magic team is good right now, and I think it's a real nice spot for the Nets to get it together. So, okay, it's down to 1.5 now. I bet the Nets money line at +122 is what I bet. So I didn't even take the points. I'm on the Nets money line. I got +122 here. And of course, my graphics are not in order. Why would they be? Let me go find it. Nets money line +122. I did bet this. Oh, you know what? I don't think I have this one because the graphics weren't up. So I'll type it on the screen so everyone can see it. Can someone shout on the comments what the Nets money line is at now? Because if it's down to 1.5, I would imagine it's moved. I don't. Can you still get somewhere close to plus 122? Someone in the comments. Brooklyn money line plus 122. Michael G says, I think it's confirmed Harden is playing. If I had to guess, I'd say he is playing, but I didn't know that for sure. Um, 112. Thank you, Weskers. So plus 112. Yeah. I think the Nets should be short favorites here. I would probably make this Nets -2. So yeah, I'd still play it at plus 112. Pelicans Hawks. Has this line moved at all? Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, that's what I get for being hesitant on that. Wow. It moved a lot, and it moved exactly like I thought it was. All right, so Pelicans Hawks. If you like this one, you should have got on that over right away. There was a 241.5, and I was like, that still feels a little low. Oh, you can see when I made the graphics, it was 241.5. It's now 246.5. So this just got bet to hell. So that's what I was considering here, an over. But we'll still talk about it. I'll make the poll 246.5 because this total is shot up. Damn, should have grabbed that. I was looking at it. My confidence still isn't there. Even though things been going well in the NBA, I should be more confident. Oh, and by the way, for the Nets, they have a home game against the Clippers after this. So this is a perfect game for them to have circled. Like, this is a winnable game against a conference opponent. Nothing to look at. They don't have the Knicks or the Sixers on deck or anything like that. It's a perfect game that the Nets are like, we could win this. So, yeah. Okay. Pelicans, Hawks. All right. So the first thing you look at is, so we talked about how the Hawks are playing better defensively, and they are. I don't think it's much of a secret that the Hawks are a better defensive team without Trae Young. I think everyone knows that. It's been widely talked about. Now that Porzingis is back and Trae Young isn't really in the rotation, we're seeing the Hawks look better defensively with Dyson Daniels and Alexander Walker on the perimeter. Kristaps Porzingis gives them some flexibility in terms of protecting the basket. So the Hawks are not the terrible defensive team that they were a couple weeks ago. But actually what I'm pointing out on this graphic is the Hawks' offensive rating. If you look, it's like, oh, shit, is the Hawks' offense falling off? Well, these numbers are dramatically skewed. In their last 5 games, look at this schedule for the Hawks. So first of all, in the last 10 games, they've played the strongest schedule in the NBA. But in the last 5 games, look at the defenses they've seen. Oklahoma City, Minnesota, who they beat the hell out of, by the way, then Toronto twice. The Raptors' defense might be top 3 or 4 in the NBA right now. Their defense is great, especially against a team like the Hawks. So 4 of the last 5 games are against probably top 5 defenses. So that's why this offense has kind of fallen off a little bit. They've kind of gone through a gauntlet of a schedule. The only bad defense they've seen recently is the Knicks, and they went into Madison Square Garden and won that game. So even though it looks like the Hawks' offense is falling off, they're going to score here at home against the Pelicans, who just played a game in New Orleans against the Lakers. So it's the Pelicans on a back-to-back. I very seriously doubt Herb Jones, immediately coming back from injury, is going to play on a back-to-back. He played tonight, right? He was ruled in. I actually didn't check to see if he actually played. I just saw the tweet that he was ruled in. I'm pretty sure Herb Jones played in that game, but let me just confirm. Herb Jones played 35 minutes. No chance in hell Herb Jones is coming back from injury, then immediately playing on a back-to-back. So we're talking about the Pelicans defense, which is already ass. Without Herb Jones on a back-to-back, this is a perfect spot for the Hawks offense to get back on track here. So I was thinking over team or Hawks team total over. I'll put the numbers long gone, so it's almost not even worth me putting up. But yeah, I like the Hawks here. You know what? I'll just put up a Hawks graphic. I'm not laying 10.5. When I first saw it when it opened, it was Hawks -9, 241.5. So it looks like the early movement is in agreement with me. Hawks and over. But I didn't bet this one. What's next? This is another one that oh my God, Another one. It's at 4.5 now. I almost grabbed the Suns at -2.5. Appreciate the super chat, Michael G. I almost grabbed the Suns at -2.5. It's at 4.5 now. Damn. Man, if I wasn't shy on the trigger finger, I would have a couple of good numbers, or at least it looks like it. So yeah, I was eyeing up. FanDuel had a 2.5 about 2 hours ago. I was eyeing it up. So Suns, Grizzlies. I think John Morant's going to play in this game, though. I don't think that's been announced, but there was a chance he was going to play tonight. Yeah, Morant's questionable. Man, this Suns team is impressive. So the Suns have been playing well for a while. We were talking about it last week. The Suns have been playing well for a while. They're 9-1 against the spread in their last 10. The criticism of the Suns was they played a bunch of nobodies. They played a very weak schedule. So the critique surrounding Phoenix is like, okay, they look pretty good, but they haven't played anybody. Well, they kind of shut everybody the hell up because they just beat Oklahoma City. And then immediately after that, with 0 days rest, they go into Houston to play a rested Rockets team, and they could have won that game. They lost 197, played a great defensive game, played the Rockets down to the wire on 0 days rest. So I think the Suns have kind of silenced the your strength of schedule is weak criticism after those two games against Oklahoma City and Houston. This Suns team needs to be respected. They're playing great defense in the last 10 games. They're second in defensive efficiency. Like I said, on 0 days rest, after winning on a buzzer beater against Oklahoma City, you immediately fly to Houston and you hold the Rockets to 100 points, a rested Rockets team. Now, the Rockets offense I have questions on right now. Without Şengün, that's a really limited offense. It's Durant or nothing. Like, who else is giving we're not talking about the Rockets. My bad. So this Suns team has earned our respect. In this matchup in particular, we're talking about a Grizzlies team that struggled to keep opponents off the offensive glass, and this Suns team, weirdly a top 5 offensive rebounding team this year. Yeah, this Suns team's playing too well. 2.5 was too short, but the market's on top of it. It's up at 4.5 now. So I'll put the Suns up, but we missed it. We should have grabbed the Suns earlier. Unfortunately, I didn't. When I was doing this, it was 2.5. Jazz Thunder. Man, what is going on with Oklahoma City right now, man? So, Oklahoma City's looking mediocre as hell, guys. 500 basketball in the last 12 games. In the beginning, it was like, oh, okay, maybe the Spurs have their number. Oh, it's a Spurs problem. They just can't beat the Spurs. Well, they just got routed at home by the Hornets. They've lost 2 in a row. They've been playing 500 basketball for 3 weeks now. They're 5-7 against the spread in their last 12. Oklahoma City looks very underwhelming. The offense isn't good right now. Offensive rating under 114, that's well below league average. Oklahoma City struggling to score points. They don't look great right now. Obviously, they're still being priced as the NBA champions because they are. Minus 18.5 points is a lot of points for a team that doesn't look very good right now. Now, they do have some excuses. There's some injuries here for Oklahoma City. Still no Hartenstein, still no Jalen Williams, still no Caruso either. So Oklahoma City is dealing with injuries. They have some excuses. I'm sure they'll be fine. But as far as how they're playing right now, it's not that impressive. Now, you would think if you're an Oklahoma City team and you're struggling offensively, right? Because the defense still looks great. If you're an Oklahoma City team and you're struggling offensively, what's the cure to that ailment? A home game against the Jazz. That'll cure your offensive problems. This is the worst defense in the NBA. They're dead last in defensive efficiency on the season. Dead last in the last 10 games. I will say they've been through a gauntlet of a schedule. They've played one of the strongest schedules in the NBA. Still, this is a very bad defense. So Oklahoma City's having problems scoring points. If they can't score points at home against Utah's defense, it's time to have a conversation. Something's wrong. It's time to have a conversation. If Oklahoma City has an inefficient offensive game at home against Utah, we can start having okay, what's really going on talk. As of right now, it's just a normal slump. Every team goes through them throughout the year. But they better be able to get back on track here. offensively against the Jazz. Utah coming off what was probably their most embarrassing performance of the year. They showed signs of life there with getting Nurkic back and Markkanen. When he's on the floor, they've been somewhat competitive. They haven't been – they're one of the worst teams in the NBA, but when Markkanen plays, they're really not that bad. They're able to stay in some games. Just went on the road in Portland. That should be a winnable game. 135-6 defensive rating. Portland, a team that's been really struggling to score, just lit the Jazz up. So again, if Oklahoma City can't score in this game, there are problems. Now, the reason it's tough to lay a big number like 18.5, it looks like Markkanen and Nurkic are going to play in this game for Utah, which means, remember, there's no Jalen Williams, J-A-Y, Lynn Williams, and there's no Hartenstein for Oklahoma City. This is a team that struggles on the glass. If Nurkic and Markkanen both play, I think Utah's going to win the battle on the boards in this one. Now, is that enough to make me bet the Jazz plus 18.5? The answer is no, it's not. But I'm not trying to lay 18.5 points with a team that I think is going to lose the rebounding battle. I guess I'll say Utah or pass. There's not a ton of interest here, guys. I'm not laying 18.5 with Oklahoma City until they show me something. They look like a fringe playoff team right now. Jazz or pass? Lakers, Spurs. I kind of was looking Lakers here. To be honest, I don't have any graphics or anything for this one. When I was preparing the show, both these teams were still playing. But I doubt we're going to see, let's see if there's been any updates. I doubt we're going to see Wembanyama in this one. He's listed as questionable. He was listed as questionable tonight, and he played. So the way I looked at it was if Wembanyama played tonight against Memphis, I didn't expect to see him against the Lakers. Now, don't hold me to that. I'm not on the San Antonio staff. I'm not on the training staff, so I don't know. But I would imagine he's dealing with an injury. He played tonight. I doubt they run him on a back-to-back. So right now, San Antonio's laying 7.5. There's actually 8. So maybe you jump on a Lakers plus 8 when Wembanyama is ruled out. It should close well. But I don't know what the Lakers are going to do because they're also on a back-to-back. What if Luka doesn't play? What if LeBron doesn't play? In my opinion, there's too many moving parts there. I'm sure if you dug into it, you could find something. It would be Lakers or nothing for me. Do I have a Lakers graphic here to put up? If I was to bet this game, I would be taking the Lakers at the plus. What is it at? There's a plus 8. If I was forced to bet this game, I would grab a Lakers plus 8 now, and I would hope that the Lakers play their guys and Wembanyama sits and it closes 5.5, 6. That would be my hope if I was to play this game, but I'm not doing it. So Houston, Portland, I bet this one. I don't know if I needed to. Yeah, I don't think I needed to bet it now, though. In fact, I bet you guys can probably get a better number than I did tomorrow, those of you that are watching in the morning. I didn't bet it right away because I knew I was like, I could wait on this one, but it's all right. So I bet the under 225.5 in this game. Okay. Where's my Blazers stuff? All right, so the Rockets have been winning games. They're 4-1 in their last 5, 6-4 in their last 10. Strength of schedule definitely needs to be mentioned here for Houston. They're 29th in strength of schedule in their last 10 games. They've won 5 of their last 6. It's not overly impressive. They played an easy schedule, this Houston Rockets team. The toughest opponent the Rockets have seen recently was Phoenix, the game they just played. That was the toughest matchup they've had in a while. That was a Phoenix team that just came off beating Oklahoma City in a buzzer beater that immediately flew to Houston on 0 days rest. So the toughest matchup Houston's seen recently was Phoenix, and they played the Suns in a very favorable matchup. So, yeah, I'm not blown away by the Rockets' recent strength of schedule. We just saw the Rockets play the Suns, like I said. They played a great defensive game. Offense looks like shit. And I have concerns about the Rockets' offense right now with no Şengün. Like I said before, without Şengün, it's very reliant on Kevin Durant. They do have Steven Adams back, which I suppose helps them on the glass. Not going to do much for them offensively. But they caught the Suns in a really great spot. Still couldn't score points on the Suns defense, which has been good, but they were on a back-to-back. Without Şengün, like I said, the Rockets are very reliant on Kevin Durant. The Blazers have actually played solid defense against jump shooters. If Durant has an off shooting night, where are the points coming from for Houston in this one? And Portland's defense hasn't been bad. It hasn't been great. It hasn't been bad. So I don't trust this Rockets offense right now. Now, where I trust the Rockets is on the defensive side of the ball. And you might say, well, Kyle, the Trailblazers offense is heating up. And that's true. In their last 6 games, the Blazers are 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread. Their only loss is Oklahoma City. Their offense finally coming around. They were one of the worst offenses in the NBA for most of this season. Last 6 games, offensive rating up close to 117. So you might say, well, Kyle, how can you bet the under if the Blazers offense is heating up? Here's the thing. If you actually take a look at those game logs, their last 6 games where the Blazers offense is quote unquote heating up, they played Boston, then they did not play well offensively. Then they played Dallas, who not a good defensive team. Then they played Oklahoma City. They didn't play well. New Orleans, one of the worst defenses in the NBA. Spurs with no Wemby are not good defensively. And then Utah, probably the worst defense in the NBA. So if you look at the last 6 games as a whole, it looks like their offense is playing better. But if you actually look at it, they've only played 2 decent defenses in that span, and they didn't play well offensively in either of them. So I'm not buying this recent offensive surge from Portland. I think this is still a really bad offense. And Houston, I may not trust the offense without Şengün. I think it's very one-dimensional, but I still trust that Rockets defense. The reason that they had a shitty offensive game against the Suns, they still won because their defense was elite. So I trust Houston's defense to go in and lock Portland's offense down. I think they look like the Portland offense we were seeing a few weeks ago. Houston also runs one of the slowest paces in the NBA. I don't trust Houston to run away with this offensively. I wouldn't lay the -6.5, but I did take the under. A little worried about turnovers. Both these teams have had problems protecting the basketball. Hopefully that doesn't turn into fast breaks. But yeah, I'm on the under in this one. Like I said, you could probably, like people watching this in the morning could probably get a better number. I got 225.5. I bet you people watching this can probably get a better number. Oh, shit, there's one more game. I'm sorry. I forgot about it because I actually didn't get to this one. Milwaukee, Golden State. I'll just read some comments. I didn't get a chance to look. To be honest, I haven't watched a Bucks game since Giannis has been back, so I don't really know how they look. Okay. Bucks, Golden State. Any injury updates here? Draymond's questionable, right? Yeah, Draymond's questionable. Gary Payton's questionable. Bucks are rocking full strength with the exception of Prince. What'd you guys think? I thought the Golden State loss to Clippers, I thought that was more so the Clippers looking very strong rather than Golden State looking bad. I think the Clippers are a very good team that maybe people are sleeping on right now because they got off to such a slow start. So I'm not downgrading my opinion of the Warriors because of that loss to the Clippers. In fact, I thought the fact that they almost came back was pretty impressive. Let's see. Bucks got Giannis back. The offense is wow. Okay, so the offense is way better since Giannis has been back. Who they played? The Bulls, the Hornets, the Wizards, the Hornets, the King. Oh shit. Well, there's your kicker, huh? So the Bucks offense has been way better since Giannis has been back. They played the Bulls, bad defense. The Hornets, not a great defense. The Wizards, bad defense, although they're improving. The Hornets, the Kings. So they've played a very easy schedule since Giannis has been back. So I guess the question in this one is we don't know how good the Bucks are because we have no legitimate data points. Warriors 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. Yeah, well, actually, they've lost 4 in a row, too. 0-4 against the spread in their last 4. I don't know. I got nothing here. To be honest, I didn't spend a ton of time with this one. I was going to get to this game, and then I was running out of time. I had to set the show up. So, everyone, thanks for watching. I got nothing here. Everyone have a good night.